Oh, it looks like,
It
yeah.
looks like we are live.
Oh, yay. It's like that
thrilling,
first moment, you know.
thrilling Thursday, lovebirds. I am excited to have you here, all of you C-suite executive, high achieving women and ministry leaders, and those ladies out there who just simply want to get finished, complete, or have closure on a breakup. Well, I'm April and I'm your favorite loveologist. And today I have my good friend, a wonderful guest, Miss Elmira Loftin, the Heartbreak Healer. So, Elmira, tell us a few things about you.
Oh, a few things. You want to know a few things? Well, like you said, I'm the heartbreak healer. I started doing work in this help area, helping people through breakup through my years in massage therapy. So I was practicing and doing massage therapy for 15 years. And one of the things that I found is in doing those massages, a lot of people came in with grief, whether it was from relationship, death, and it was the reason their muscles were so tight. It was the reason, yeah, they had back pain, they had neck pain, they had shoulder pain because a breakup, a heartbreak can lead to all of these emotional things sitting in your muscles, sitting in your tissues. And so for me, I started helping my clients in this area as well because I saw a need just beyond on the table. And it was my own experience with a breakup. It was also my own experiences with death and understanding the cycle of death and
Oh,
how we manage grief and death and all of those emotions. I wanted to help people. And because one thing I started to understand about grief, it's only the other side of love. So if we really want to love other people, we have to be able to manage our grief.
sounds like a good plan to me because that grief is something that no human can avoid. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. Now, tell me some more about this because in your bio it says Elmira is the heartbreak healer. An untimely breakup sent her on a movement and healing journey. And as a trained massage therapist, she has witnessed what breakups and emotional pain do to the body. And she says, you are responsible for your own happiness. Get your body moving because movement is the best medicine. And I'm going to say this right here. I know Elmira to be a author. She's also the heart to heart host on Instagram. She is an excellent teacher. She's a good friend. She runs a mastermind. Elmira, tell me about some of the things that I just said.
Okay, you said a lot, but I want to highlight one of the things with movement being the best medicine because that's where it starts after we deal with the breakup. And some of us may not know that we are dealing with the symptoms of a breakup because that breakup could have happened last year and we're still dealing with it, but our body knows. And so for me, you have to get up and move, whether it's through dance, it's through exercise. You may even have to move to a new city like I did. That was one of the things I did to heal after my breakup years ago. I ended up moving from Virginia to Nashville, and I saw that's why I'm so big on moving. You got to get up and change your space. You got to change your ideas. You got to change your thoughts. You got to shift your body. You can't stay stuck in the past because many times we've been through a relationship. We've been through, you're the loveologist. Like we've been through all of this stuff and we worry about duplicating the past. But when you move, you get up, shake things up, say, I'm going to do something different. You talk about this a lot with the intercultural and the interracial dating. I'm going to do something different. Maybe I don't need to date within my culture. But that's what I'm speaking about with movement, and most of all, moving your body, because your body is a living testament of what's going on with you emotionally.
So tell me this. We're talking about breakup, but most people don't pay attention to breakup stuff until it's just exploded in their face. So, what do you feel are some signs of a potential breakup coming on, especially if you're not the one going to initiate the breakup? What would be some signs for the ladies to actually look for?
Oh, some signs. Okay, one of the signs might be change in behavior of your partner. So, for example, if y'all are accustomed to doing Friday date night and for a month you haven't done Friday date night, I'm like, what's going on? You got to start asking questions, have that open line of communication. So that's number one, like change of behavior. Um, Along with the change of behavior, your partner may stop answering your phone calls or something like that, or began putting more attention into other friends, their work, because they want to avoid you. I know this happened years ago in one of my relationships. Like he was doing more at work or spending more time over here with the friends. So like get being tuned in, like, is this relationship on the verge of a breakup? Because a breakup is nothing but a transition. One of my mentors, she talked about this with her divorces. She's like, these have not been divorces. She said these are just transformations. So when you view it that way and you are attuned to the signs of the transformation in the relationship, you can prepare yourself for that breakup and noticing, is my relationship on the verge of a transformation? And that transformation could be I have a conversation and things get back on track in a better way, or we have a conversation and it's the end. Either one is fine, but just pay attention to the signs. What are the actions going on?
I like what you said there. Either way is fine, but you want to do something and
Mhm.
not just let it blow up in your face. And when you're confident and you know yourself, either way will be fine with you. So tell us about your situation and what may have led you to, or some of the things probably that led you to actually have to feel like you had to move. Because I know when it comes to marriage, and if a person goes to glory or if there's a divorce, a lot of women feel like they can't stay in the same house or whatever. But and they feel like they have to move and they move a long ways away. So what kind of things made you feel like you needed to get that far away from where you were?
I don't know if it was a need, but it was like this intuition. It was something within myself. I remember right after the breakup, it was still about a year, so you can see how long this can fester when you don't understand what's happening within you. You could be in that grief, you could be going through the breakup for years. It was probably about a year. I was sitting down with one of my colleagues and telling her how I wanted to move to Nashville, see what it was like. She's like, there's no better time than now. I said, that thought just stuck with me because I had nothing to lose. I didn't have any children. I had just broken up with the boyfriend. It was like I didn't have to stay there for him. I didn't really have to stay there for my mom or siblings. And for me, it was just, it's time. What better time than now to move? And Nashville was just some place I had visited as part of like American Idol, trying out for that. And then I did a semester at Tennessee State. I was like, that would be a cool place to live. So let me pick that out. So it was more the atmosphere of the city than saying I got to go this distance, because it was a far distance from home in Virginia, but it was more so I want to open myself up to a better life. And I
Mhm.
knew there was something better for me in Tennessee. And it proved to be so, because I started it out that way.
Okay.
Because I was not the same person when I came as when I left. Like, seriously.
Okay. So it sounds like you just made a big decision to go ahead and move because you were in between partners, shall I say. And
Hmm.
there was really nothing holding you in that place. So it sounds like to me it was a good time for you to have a good break, get your head clear, and like you said, work on something better. So tell me this. What are some of the common mistakes that women make immediately after a breakup?
Ooh, some common mistakes. I have several.
Tell us
Because
about
I
them.
made them. I made them myself. So one of them may be the breakup sex. So what I mean by that is you're still attached to your ex because you can't let go. So you may go back and engage with him intimately. So that's one mistake. Number two, staying connected with the ex. Like on social media, we have all of these channels to remain connected: Instagram, Facebook. But if we really want to move on, if that's what your choice is, you have to disconnect, because you can't be on there on Facebook. This happened to me. I was on Facebook crying one day in the break room at my job because I saw an ultrasound picture from my ex. That meant he was having a baby with somebody else. And mind you, this was years after we broke up. But because I had still had some of those feelings within me, oh, we might get back together or this might happen, it made me emotional. But why did I let that trigger me? Like it was, but I was still connected with him on Facebook because I had told myself we still need to be attached. Our family still know each other. I'm still your friend. We're still friendly, because it wasn't a hateful breakup. But that's what other mistakes might I say? Another one is thinking this is the end, because it can feel like that because your identity has shifted. Like you've gone through this breakup, you're no longer able to spend time with this person you grew to love, and you don't know how to establish a new identity. But you got to put some time into that instead of being the same person, because that goes back to mistake number one. The reason why you might do the breakup sex, because you're like, I don't know nothing else. I want to be. I hear so many times, in this dating space today, these women looking for a new guy, but they still attached to the old guy. How you still with the ex? You got to make a clean break if you want to invite something new into your life.
Well, what we call that, especially when we look at it in the area of Christianity and the Bible, we call it a soul tie,
Mm.
and the soul tie needs to be broke. And one of the things that we share is that when you're trying to break a soul tie, you're trying to get them, as some people say, get them out of your system. You need to make sure that you actually make sure you get rid of anything that they may have left in your house or in your car, um, any pictures. You need to make sure that you do away with all of their stuff, whether you give it to them for them to come get it or you throw it out in the trash or burn it or whatever. You just need to um, get rid of their things. And of course, we say pray about everything, but we call that a soul tie. And there's good ones, there's bad ones, but you definitely want to break it if you want to move on in life, because you don't want to be with your new person and start having flashbacks, which is, I saw that on TD Jakes one time. He was talking about you have the flashback. I was
Oh
like,
my.
okay. Oh Lord. Oh, now what are some of the reasons why women go back other than those? Do they feel trapped? Is somebody encouraging them? What are some other reasons that women go back other than maybe they've slept with the person?
Well, some of it, you mentioned feeling trapped. Some of it is this is the best that I can do. It feelings of self-worth have to do with this. Because if we think there's nobody else out there, there's nobody else I like, there's nobody else who can love me the way he did, or whatever, that it's a scarcity mindset, because the truth is there's plenty of men. But if we don't make ourselves open and available to that, how will we see them? Because if I'm still stuck in that mindset of being attached to, you mentioned it, soul tie, being attached to this ex, dealing with the heartbreak, mentally, spiritually, and my frequency, my energy is attaching me to that partner. I can't open myself up to anything new. So it does appear that there aren't any good men, because I've, in my reality, said I'm only attracted to this guy. I'm going to stay with the ex. So that's preventing you, is feelings of self-worth and the thoughts about there's nobody else. Another thing on top of that could be your family is telling you to stay with this person.
Yeah.
Your family is telling you to stay with this person, whether y'all had children together. I hear this a lot too. I was had a consultation with this one young man, and that's what he was telling me. Like, it was hard for him to let go because of the child he shared with his ex, with the young lady. And so you have that factor in place too. How do you separate when you share a child or children? Is is it can be even more challenging. But if you tell yourself, it goes back to the self-worth. Is this a person I actually want to spend my life with? Yes, we share children. We're going to raise these children together. But do I want a relationship with them in the future? To me, those are some of the reasons you might go back.
Well, I know in dealing with interracial, what the what the family says and what the friends say has a real strong bearing. So I really understand what you're saying right there, because if your mom, particularly your mom, if your mom, your dad, or your close cousin or whoever is saying, "Oh, he was a good man. He did this and he did that." Well, they may be ignoring the things that caused the breakup. And that can give you some conflict in your mind and in your heart. What are some steps what are the first, let's say the first 2 or 3 steps that someone should take towards healing?
Okay, I have two main steps. The first one is be aware of what's going on within your body. So do an assessment. Like, when I used to host my monthly workshops, I would have everybody do just a scan. Like, scan your body. Does your head hurt? Are you feeling a tingling in your stomach? Your right foot got pain, whatever it is. Be aware what specifically is going on in your body and journal about it. Write it down so you notate it, because this may be an ongoing process too. Because as you pay attention, you may notice you have this shoulder pain when the anniversary of your breakup comes up, or when his birthday comes up. That's when you got the shoulder. So it's those things, paying attention to what is my body doing, saying to me? Am I gaining weight? Is my period off? Like, it's off. I mean, these are all types of things that could be occurring, but only you will know. Be conscious, do some meditation, scan your body, go deep and say, what is my body experiencing? And then number two, You got to put the attention back on yourself. And I call this my OCD method: order, consistency, and discipline with your self-care. So you have to stay paying attention to order is, what order am I doing these things for myself? Let's say we're talking about bathing. I'm taking a bath, like an actual soak in the tub. And that's something you like to do. Add it to your order of the day. If it's something you like to do at night after work, put it on your order. OCD. So that's the order. Consistent. The C is consistency. How often do you want to do that thing or things caring for yourself? So the bath. Do you need to take a bath every Saturday night, every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is? You decide. How often do you need it? And then discipline. Hold yourself accountable to these things. When do you find yourself slipping away from the list, slipping away from the consistency? Like, oh, why haven't I taken my bath in 2 months? I like that. So you're holding you're questioning yourself. Hold yourself accountable, because that's how you become disciplined with this self care. Because that's what I tell my clients. Like, the OCD method is how you do the self care: order, consistency, and discipline. Because you have to be the one after this breakup to tell yourself how to heal. Because, yes, you can come to me and I guide you and mentor you. But when you're at home on the Monday night, Tuesday night, what are you going to do for yourself? Are you going to pay attention to those things going on in your body? And are you going to move? Because, again, movement is the best medicine. So you have to make that a part of your healing process.
Now, I really like, I'm going to ask two questions to you right here, because I'm good at asking five at one time. We'll stick to two. I really like how you talked a little bit about journaling. So can you tell us a lot more about journaling, how it helps you? And also tell us about this little movement group that I didn't mention in your bio that you have.
Oh, okay. So first, about journaling. Oh, I got one of my journals right here, as a matter of fact, because I do it every day. Journaling is a great way to get your thoughts out, and it's a great way to track your progress. Because I can look back at my journals from January of this year and say, oh, January of this year I was grateful for this, but now in June, or moving forward, September, October, November, I'm looking like this. You're able to write, because when you write, that is doing something with your emotions. It's doing something with your brain. That's why we write love letters. It's not just, oh, I want to send my boo a note. It's actually, you're sending, it's a transfer from your heart to your hand. Like, it literally is. So journaling is so critical to get those thoughts onto paper, to get it out of your head. Many times we can overthink or be overwhelmed because there's so much going on in the mind. And yes, when it's going on in the mind, it's going on in the body too. So don't keep your mind cluttered. Get it out. Write down your thoughts. Write down, I'm happy. I'm proud for my progress. Oh my goodness, look at how far I've come with this breakup, with this. I'm starting to date again. Guess who I went on a date with tonight? You can journal about that. Like, 5 months ago, I was crying. I went on a date tonight. Like, and you write it in your book, and you can just, I'm always talking about celebrating those wins. You also asked about the movement group. On Thursday evening, I do this co-movement. So it's an exercise accountability group where we get together for about 45 minutes. You bring your own exercise and we work out together. The purpose of this is to give you a space to do your movement. Because many times we may feel alone, or we haven't put it on the schedule. Oh, when am I going to do that walk I said I was going to do? come to the cold movement and do the walk. And I want to emphasize it's not a workout class because I won't be leading you, but you just bring your exercise. It's a space to hold you accountable. So we work out for 30 minutes. At the end of the 30 minutes, you share your progress and then we just leave. And it's on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Now, is that on Facebook?
Well, we meet on Zoom, but you can find the information on Facebook under the group Get Moving Now.
Okay, I'm typing that in right now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you can find it on Facebook Get Moving Now because it's all been scheduled out every week, and you can see the link there where you can join us. So tonight, I'll be doing it tonight.
Get moving now on Facebook.
Yeah.
Putting that in the chat. All right. Um. Okay, so we've brought these women from the signs of a breakup through some things that they need to do and don't do because of a breakup. And I hope that you ladies are really paying attention to the underlying theme here. The underlying theme is you, not them, not pointing fingers, but the underlying theme is you taking care of you and getting your head clear. And as Elmira says, getting your body clear too, I guess.
Totally.
So let's talk about what are some signs that they may be ready to start dating again. Because I know one of the things that I often share is after you had a breakup, it is time for you to take it down and really, really focus on you and reflect on some things, not beating you up and not pointing fingers. But there also comes a time when the person is ready to, what do we say, stick your toe in the water or think about dating or something. So what are some signs that you may be ready to try to get back out there again?
One of the biggest signs is when you hear your ex's name or somebody talks about him, you don't get upset or feel frazzled, jealous, or, it all goes back to the body. How do you feel when you think about or hear your ex? So for me, I knew that within myself because I told the story about seeing the ultrasound picture, knowing he was going to have a baby with somebody else. That upset me. I was like distraught. But then months and years later, I had no reaction to hearing about because when his mom called me and said, "Oh, guess who's getting married?" I said, "Oh, congratulations." It was no, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe." So pay attention to that within yourself too. How do you feel? How do you feel when you hear mention of your ex? Because that'll be a notification that you're ready to date again. I think that's the biggest thing, like paying attention to, have you really moved on? Because we always talk about, oh, another thing on top of that is, have you sat down and taken accountability and responsibility for your part in the breakup? Because that's huge. Like I mentioned, journaling, you may write that out. You may hire someone to help you go through this process. That's what I help you do. And because you have to identify, otherwise, you just going to repeat the same mistake over and over again if you haven't sat back and said, "Oh, I missed this," or, "Oh, I could have did better with that." Because one of the things I knew I could do better with myself was like giving the silent treatment. So it's like I improved upon that. I looked at the relationship and said, what could I have done? Not to your point, pointing the blame. He was the reason we broke up. No, we were both the reason we broke up. Let me own my part. But if you haven't done those two things, you're not really ready to date because you're just going to take that behavior and unaccountability into a new relationship.
So true. So true. And you know, another thing that will help you feel like you're heading in a direction that you're ready to get out there again is if you can go out on a date by yourself.
Oh, that's a good one. That
When you
is.
when you can go out on a date by yourself, you don't have to call your girlfriends because you used to being on a date with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You could just go, and not only just go. I mean, just going may be for some people the mountain that they have to get over. But after you get somewhere, can you enjoy it? Can you enjoy yourself? So yeah, I'm
I
just
did that. I want to speak to that because I did that many times. That's what let me know I was healed and moved on from the last relationship. I took myself out on many dates. Like I would go to concerts and enjoy the concert because I knew every time I was going to meet people there. I went to see Stevie Wonder. I went to see all kinds of people solo. It was fun.
So what kind of advice would you share with a woman who she may be just terrified or just really scared to get back out there? And one thing, you know, one thing that keeps a woman stuck in a relationship is when she won't let herself go and go back out there. So what kind of um advice can you give to this woman who just she just can't move? I mean, she just I don't it's beyond feeling stuck. She's just terrified about getting back out there. What kind of suggestions?
Terrified. Okay. I think one of the things you said, and this is what we believe too when we talk about dating, getting back out there. Out where? Like we treat it like it's some grand place I have to go to date. It's really not. And so when you scale it back, your belief and your idea about what dating actually is, it's just meeting people. You just saying I agree to socialize with somebody of the opposite sex. It's that simple. We overcomplicate it. So that's the biggest thing I would mention is don't complicate the process of dating because you hear it, especially these days. There's piss in the pool, and this is going on, and I can't do the online, and this is that. Every woman is this, and every man is this. And if you're complicating the whole situation, it's just point A to point B. It's not that serious. Like I used to do that myself, but then once I treated it as I'm just talking to people. It's just socializing. It's just conversation. How would I talk to somebody at my job? How would I talk to somebody I meet at a conference, somebody I meet at church, somebody I meet online? Why we sitting there putting dating in a box? It's not. I'm just being serious. It's not it's not that challenging. We're making it more challenging than it is. And I understand why it is challenging because if I've dealt with grief, heartbreak, I'm over here thinking this might happen again. What if I get rejected? What if all of the thoughts are coming to mind and that does make you terrified. But how about you make your primary thought, what's the best that can happen? Because I go out here, have me a good time, me be a good man. Who knows? I just go.
You know, that is something that I really like about you, that I really like about our friendship. You just go out there and socialize with people whoever they are, regardless of what they are, and then you see which way it goes. And you
Yeah.
just have an open heart to connect with people. And I really like this comment that you just made about the way we perceive things. And another thing is the way other people are expecting us to handle things. When we can just, like you said, just take yourself, go somewhere, enjoy yourself. It's not a big deal. It's not a big grand stage like we think it is. It's just going some. It's like you go to the grocery store by yourself.
Yeah. Just do it. Just Dude, I heard this lady the other day. She had gone, and it was down here in Atlanta. She had gone on this date, agreed to meet up with this guy, and he was late. So she just said, I'm going to sit at the bar, I'm going to order my food, and when he arrives, I'll be good. This guy claimed, oh, I had a technician at my house and all of this stuff. So here's an hour passed by. Meanwhile, she's enjoying herself. She's like, I'm not going to
Mhm.
wait for the date for me to have fun. She said, I ordered my appetizer, I ordered my entree. So the guy finally shows up and he sits on the patio knowing she's at the bar. Then he texts her and said, what, where are you? You saw me when you walked in. So I think she did the right thing. And I'm only bringing this up because it goes back to self-worth in this dating space when you're ready to date. This particular woman understood her worth because she didn't immediately get up and say, oh, he's on the patio, let me take my plates and go meet him. He showed up late. He didn't tell me when he was here. He sat in the wrong place, and I'm going to ruin what I just created for myself to go over there just to say I was on a date with a man. Like, no. So I was like, this is wild. Like, and this one of the good things about the dating experience, when you understand who you are, when you've applied this OCD method, you're spending time with yourself, you know what your standards are, you know what you will tolerate and what you will not. And everybody else has to just fall in line, and they will, because they understand what you are presenting. You don't have to say a word and they know whether you are serious, you are fun, you are lackadaisical. If you one of those women they can get over on, they will know. But it's up to you to put that energy, to put those standards out. And I say do it in a way that's not barking orders or anything. It's your presence. It's just how do you show up? Because people will receive you, they will treat you how you show up. Just like the example of that woman at the bar. Like I guess, yeah.
See, you said standards, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're dating in your same culture or outside of your culture. You need to be a woman, like Elmira's already said, a woman who is confident within herself, and you need to have standards. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're too much. You need to have standards. Now, if you just way out there, that's one thing, but you need to have some standards about yourself, confidence in yourself. You are a woman of value. You know, there's a
Mhm.
lot of talk about high value women and high value men. And most people think that that's according to their social stat. So let me get my words straightened out here. According to your status financially. But when I tell somebody about high value woman or high value men, this is my definition. A high value man could be Trump or Elon Musk if you're looking at the wallet.
Mhm.
But is that something that you desire? So your high value man or your high value woman is the person who has the things that you like, the characteristics, the way they handle themselves,
Mhm.
their goals, the things that you like that are compatible to you. That's what makes them a high value person to you. And you have to remember, you are a high value person. You have standards. So, yes, that dude needed to come into the bar and find her and come in.
Yeah.
If he was really serious, he would have actually walked the floor looking
Right.
for her.
That was, and I want to speak to your point too, because that's how I knew I should date my current boyfriend. Like looking at the values, looking at what he valued and what I valued, and it matched, it coincided. We both like learning, personal growth. stuff. This man got a library up in here. Like, I mean, it's like a
Okay.
full out, it might as well be the public library because it's so many books. But I like that. I like somebody who wants to grow, who wants to teach themselves something, not just want to stay stuck in one position. And it's something I valued. Another thing was like humor, laughter. So like he likes to laugh. So it's like, okay, we can do that. We also like music, same kind of music, creativity, all of that. And people may say, oh, this is somebody you want to date. Because I used to think this too, like he has to be in this box, he's got to make this amount of money. But if he is valuing me, and that's one of the things I enjoy, he values my presence, my energy, my assistance, what I can add to his life. And it's not about, oh, I'm canceling you out because you don't make the 80K mark, or you don't make the 150K mark, the 250K mark. Like, that's, you're, to me, that wasn't something I valued, the exact money amount.
Yo. And you said grow, somebody who wants to grow. You want someone also who wants to grow with you.
Mm-hmm.
They can grow themselves, that's all well and dandy, but the two of you need to grow together in order for the relationship to stay um, positive, exciting, and stuff like that. I want to flip the script here because we have talked from what kind of signs you would have that a breakup is coming, all the way to getting the woman healed and back to dating again, or trying to, attract her forever partner, as I say. So let's flip the script. What about when she is the one who wants to initiate the breakup? What would you say would be some good deal breakers that would help her come to that conclusion that she's wanting to make this breakup?
What do you mean by like deal breakers?
You come to a point in the relationship that something has happened, and you know that is something that you're not going to deal with or live with. And so it is something to break the deal, as in the deal of dating, or the agreement of dating,
Gotcha.
yeah, or in a
Gotcha.
relationship. Hmm.
To me, that's going to again align with your values. If you told yourself, I'm not going to continue a relationship with somebody who going to jail, and your partner's about to head to jail, then it's time to sever the relationship. Or you said, I'm not going to be in relationship with some, because this could be huge for somebody who's just dating and not married. I'm not going to be with somebody who cheated, who, had intimate relations with somebody else. That's a deal breaker. So it really depends on what have you set as those guidelines. And you must also have discussed that with your partner too, saying, hey, if you will go to jail, I'm not going to be with you. So then he understands, like, so it doesn't really come as a shock and surprise that, oh, this woman don't like jailbirds. Or, you know what I'm saying? You're not shocked and surprised that I'm not going to continue to be with you when you did this. Because you have to have already had that conversation, because sometimes it may seem like we do need to break up, but it's really not grounds for a breakup. So this would be something outside of a true deal breaker. It could be an instance of something you can work out. Going back to your example, hey, we're not growing together. I feel like we haven't done our date nights like we used to. Or every time me and you were talking about this the other day, every time we get together, why are we both on our phones? Let's spend some non-phone time. So you said, maybe I, as a woman, was thinking, I got to break up with him because we don't never spend no real time together. But you never had the conversation with your boyfriend, with your partner, about your desire to spend non phone time together or to go on a trip. If you like trips, but y'all haven't planned a trip. Now you want to break up because y'all not on a trip, but you haven't discussed going on a trip. That's not a reason to break up because you should fix it. It's almost like firing the employee before you give them chance to reprimand the behavior. You don't do that. Some people do because some of these states is no what they call them no contest or whatever state that where they can do that. But I don't advise that because you should give him the opportunity to fix whatever that error or otherwise why are you in the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: since do you happen to have a formula or something that you would tell a woman if she's saying I want to break up with him and she's just solid about it? Is there something that you tell her to do, say, a pattern to follow, or anything like that?
No, I don't, because I don't advise anybody on that. I mean, it has to be up to them. Because I'm really more where I come in, I want to help you move on after the breakup. So I'm not going to tell you whether, because then they come back on me. Elmira, she told me that I should. No, you have to take the onus within yourself. It all goes back to you. What do you feel? Can you see yourself with this person in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years? And then if not, you need to do some assessment. And then you have to make the final decision. I'm not going to tell you what the final decision should be.
All right then. Well, tell us this. You have an audience out there. What do you really want to convey from your heart about being the heartbreak healer? What do you want people to get from what you said or who Elmira is?
I think it goes back to my book. I got a book I wrote called Healing is for Warriors, Not Wimps. You are a warrior for wanting to heal your heart after the breakup. You are not weak. Because some people may be like, oh, just stay. No, have strength. Go on because you want to be a better person. You want to improve. You want to make your next relationship the best relationship. You can do that. You will find love again. Don't get stuck in a place where you think this last relationship was the end all be all. I'm a living testimony of that. I was able to get into another loving relationship because that wasn't the end. It's not the end for you because that movement piece will show you that you can move on. That's what life is about. We're not the same person. I mean, I know I'm not the same person I was at 17. And then if you look 10 years ahead, I'm not going to be the same person then because I'm committed to improvement. I'm committed to increasing and expanding the love. So for me, that's what I want you to do. Get the book. You can get your copy of the book. I've offered the audience a free copy of the book during the month of June. So if you go to bit.ly Elmira book and you enter the code loving, all capital letters, LOVING, you can get your copy of the book because it will help you on your journey. There are stories in there. And the good thing about the book, you can just do it piece by piece. It's not something you need to read by a novel. You can pick up a page one day and say, oh, I need this lesson. Then the next day, it might be another lesson, but it will help you to heal your heart.
Well, I have that at the bottom of the screen there. And if you miss it there and you have to come back later, it should also be in the description, especially if you're on YouTube and the other platforms. So get a copy of her book so that it can really assist you if you are dealing with some painstaking heartbreak situations. And I just want all of you ladies to no longer be stuck. That's why I wanted to do this during Loving Month, because I knew you would be paying attention to Loving Month, but I wanted you to get something that was very valuable, because I come across a lot of women, young and old. I'm talking 20s, 30s, up to their 70s, and it's like I'm sworn off men. I'm not dating anymore. I'm not
No.
this and I'm not that. And the thing is that you're stuck in the last one because maybe the last one was so painful. But we have to remember, we were created as human beings to have companionship from a person of the opposite sex, to have a romantic relationship with people from the opposite sex. So I wanted to just try to help some of you move forward and help you to release some of that pain and yeah, get unstuck so that you can connect with your forever partner. Like I said, you can find Elmira's book there in the chat, also in the description. I also put in the description a link to my book as well, the one that says Rewrite Your Love Story, because it's got a lot of things in there to help you if you've been through a breakup as well. So I'm telling you, between those two books, you ought to be dating pretty soon.
Yes.
You should be freed up and dating pretty soon. And if not, you can definitely check in with Elmira, Elmira Loftin on Facebook. You're on Instagram. You're on YouTube as well, right?
Mm-hmm. All three, just my name. Yeah.
Elmira Loftin. Well, Elmira, I appreciate you coming by and stopping by to help us to celebrate Loving Month. This is our last interview, but what they say, sometimes you just save the last for the best. The best is the last. So if you have something else that you want to share with us, you're welcome to do that at this time. And we are going to end the broadcast here in just a moment.
Nothing else. I can say you can bless your ex.
Okay.
You can do it. Just do it. Because you don't want to stay stuck in the past. There's so many new opportunities for love, adventure, excitement in your life. It's waiting for you.
All right. Well, ladies, I am April, your favorite loveologist. I'm a certified love coach, the president and CEO at Authentic Love, where interracial relationships are our number one priority. Be sure that you check out all of the rest of the Loving Month events that we have had earlier in the month. Some things are still coming towards the end of the month. And again, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Elmira, for coming by. Bye bye now.
Bye.